Local government is the closest form of governance to the people, the level meant to fix our roads, manage our markets, run our primary schools, and provide health care at the grassroots. Yet is the most ignored, underreported, and misunderstood tier of government. Now, let's face it, when people hear election in Nigeria, their minds often jump to presidential or gubernatorial races, the drama, the big names, the headlines. But while we chase the national stage, we forget that the local government is where democracy is supposed to be the most visible, the most impactful. It's your local government that's responsible for the primary school your child attends, the local health center your community relies on, the inner roads that floods when it rains, the waste disposal that either works or doesn't. But sadly, it's also the level of government that is often reduced to silence. Elections happen quietly with little public scrutiny. Candidates even emerge and disappear, and voters, many don't even know an election is happening at all. So today, we're not just talking about an election, we're talking about visibility, about awareness, about accountability. We're talking about what it means to rebuild the bridge between the people and the power that affects them most directly. Welcome to another critical edition of Politics Uncensored, where we strip away the noise and engage with the real issues shaping our politics and democracy. Today, all eyes are on Lagos as it heads to the polls for the local government elections on July 12, which is tomorrow. But beyond the posters and the campaign slogans, what does this election truly mean for Lagosians? Are the citizens aware of the power and responsibilities of their local councils? Are these elections free, fair, and truly competitive? And most importantly, how can voters hold leaders accountable? Our goal will always be to provide a platform for honest and open discussions where experts and everyday citizens can share their perspectives and insights. Of course, it's your favorite show, and we have an expert guest who will be joining us soon. I'm your host, Okikiola Taiwo Jalukmo, a member of the new generation of leaders, young, bold, and unapologetically committed to redefining the future of governance in this great nation. You can call me the polyhumanitarian, and I'm here to make political discussions accessible to all of us. We want to hear from you because all of our episodes are about you. So be a part of the conversation every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays to add your voice to this discussion. You can also head on to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. Follow us on our social media platforms showing right now on the screen. Hit that subscribe button, like, share, and also invite your friends to join the show now. If you want to call us, our phone lines are also open to you. You can call us on 070-2500-7749 and 070-142420. Let's hear what you have to say. We'll go on a break right now, and we'll return with our guests and take our top stories in the political space making headlines. Do not go anywhere. You are still watching Politics Uncensored, and today we are here to understand the local government elections on July 12th and what we can expect. As Lagos prepares to head to the polls on July 12th, one thing is clear: democracy doesn't just happen in Abuja, it happens on our streets, in our wards, at our local council offices. These elections are not small, they're deeply consequential. If we want change, we must show up where it matters most. Ask questions, demand performance, refuse to be sidelined, because the fight for good governance starts from the ground up. And joining us this morning is Femi Falowo, the Social Democratic Party's chairmanship candidate, popularly known as SDP, to help us unpack the dynamics, challenges, and opportunities surrounding this pivotal grassroots election. And I'm so happy to have him here because I know that tomorrow is quite a determining moment for him, and he has so graciously joined us on the show today to help us, have this conversation. Welcome to Politics Uncensored, Femi.
Yeah. It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Wonderful. So before we go into the topic for today, we usually highlight political news making headlines on some Nigerian newspaper. And I have one here talking about the local government election, of course, and say the local government poll ballot snatching would trigger by-election, says LISEC. The Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission has declared that any incident of ballot snatching during Saturday's local government election will result in a by-election in the affected area. The commission made this known during a press briefing on Thursday, where its chairman, Justice Bola Okikiolu Igile, assured residents of LISEC's readiness to deliver a free, fair, and credible poll across the 57 local councils in the state. He said there will be by-elections if a ballot box is snatched anywhere. She said this while answering questions from journalists, and the LISEC boss also said, while we don't pray for such to happen, there would be a need to conduct a by-election in any local council where such happened. Answering questions from reporters at the briefing, the commission said there was no threat to postpone the election in any way. And the LISEC boss also assured Lagos residents of the readiness of the commission to conduct a free, fair, and transparent election across the 57 local councils in the state. To ensure successful conduct and security, the Lagos State Command has also announced restrictions on movement on Saturday, July 12, 2025. On Thursday, the police, however, announced the adjustment on the time of movement restriction in the state for the election. In a statement issued by spokesman Benjamin Udeyin on Wednesday, the police announced the deployment of personnel at strategic locations for the Saturday poll. On Thursday, the command announced a review of the time of movement restrictions to alleviate the problem of residents with critical medical emergency and appointments and those with a long-time internal travel plans in and out of the country. The restriction of vehicular movement is hereby readjusted to commence at 6 a.m. and end at 3 p.m. on Saturday, July 12, and not from 3 a.m. as earlier announced. So, Udeyi is saying that members of the public are enjoined to cooperate and respect the new timing. But what really captured, beyond all of this story, what really captured my attention is them talking about the by-elections and the fact that LISEC itself is saying that if any ballot box is snatched in any local government area, then that affected area will have to run another election or a re-election in that sense. But for some reasons, I've read where one of our guests, if I'll first start with that, one of our guests mentioned how the LISEC has asked them to come and sign a peace accord, that there shouldn't be any violence of any sort during the elections on Saturday. But he mentioned how some of these people, or the LISEC officials in that sense, have access to the people who actually steal ballot boxes. So he's saying that they should come and sign a peace accord is being negligent of the people who actually came or who is going to be there to destroy the poll. So what do you think about this story, Femi, and the fact that LISEC has mentioned that in any place where ballot box is being stolen in that sense, they would run a by-election?
Yeah. By the way, I'm not running for chairmanship. I'm running for councillor.
Oh, pardon me. I'm so sorry.
Well, from the look of things, I think LISEC, their role is to monitor and keep political party guidelines as regards how the election will go. So basically, I think LISEC have to write to the Commissioner of Police for protection because it's within their rights to act for such protection. So as regards them saying ballot, they are snapping ballot box, I don't know much about that because I think there should be enough security that should be on ground for that election. This is Lagos State, the center of SLSA. I think security should be given priority. We should use that as a yardstick to sensitize, people of their civil rights to vote. So going forward to tomorrow, I think that we intensify security. So if we are going to have cases like that, it should be minimum because definitely nothing is perfect. There will just be some little bottlenecks around there, but at least we should be able to have like at least 75-80% security within Lagos. I think they should work together with the Commissioner of Police in all the local 20 LG to see how they can, salvage any security threat. I think they should be working towards that rather than saying they will snatch ballot box and that. But we can't take away the possibility. But at least they should minimize such occurrence. That's what I have to say about that.
Thank you very much, Femi. And as I would say, I completely agree with you at this point, because security is a very important thing, and security, everyone has the right to be protected in this sense. So I hope LISEC would, liaise with the police command and then deploy appropriate securities for elections tomorrow, so that for some reasons we can actually have free, fair, and credible election in this sense. That's basically all we have for the top stories today. We'll go on a break and then we'll return with our hot topic for today, still with our guests. Please stay tuned.
Tell us you're a Nigerian without saying a word.
Hey, Nepa.
Energy security is one of the most pressing issues for many developing countries like Nigeria. And if there's going to be any meaningful progress, addressing our energy issues is non-negotiable.
I know you see light from my house. Make them do something.
Band A is expensive. I literally have to turn off all my appliances just to reduce costs.
We need light.
Introducing the Energy Outlook, your go-to show for everything energy. Every week, we'll bring you the latest insights, innovation, and in-depth analysis of Nigeria's energy sector. From policy discussions to regulatory insights, we will analyze the key decisions influencing growth and sustainability in the energy sector. We'll bring you the human stories behind the headlines, giving you a personal perspective on the broader energy challenges. Join me every Friday at 6 p.m. for the Energy Outlook, your guide to the future of energy, where energy means business.
Welcome back to the show. Thank you for staying tuned. If you just tuned in, you are still watching Politics Uncensored, and we are here to discuss the local elections happening tomorrow. We'll be unpacking what this election means, what candidates or challenges opposition candidates face, what Lagosians should expect from their chairmen and councillors, and how we, the people, can start paying attention to where it matters. So whether you live in Surulere or Shomolu or Agege or Amodo, wherever it is that you might believe that this election is going to be happening tomorrow, this conversation is all about you. It's about your street, it's about your school, your environment. Politics isn't just uncensored, it's local. And of course, we have Femi here, who is a councillorship candidate of the SDSP of his own locality. Thank you, Femi, for staying tuned with us. Okay, so going straight into the conversation for today, why do you think, or if I'm going to start off, a lot of Nigerians think that local government is not that deep, it's very mad, nobody wants to be there. But if I was going to ask you, why do you think the local government elections is important in a mega city, especially for somewhere like Lagos?
Well, to start with the grassroots, our people, our professionals, especially our people in the professional world, they don't really pay attention to politics. That's why we're having problem at the grassroots. They're really looking at the, upper end. And before you can effect change has to begin with you. That's why this grassroots has been neglected for so long. People don't even know the importance. They don't even know the function of their local government chairman. At least some people can even say, oh, I know the local government chairman, but what about the councillors? People don't even know what the function of the councillor. They don't know. So they just go and look. They think they have to, anything they need, they have to call the president, criticize the president, criticize the people up there. Meanwhile, you have someone representing in your locality, someone you should hold accountable for such. But you always go and be, you'll be, So that's I think we should enlighten our people more on, that's the first thing we should do. We should enlighten our people more. Let people know the essence of the local government. The local government are responsible for maintenance of roads. They are responsible for your tax, for your drainage. They are responsible for basically all things that happen within your locality. The local government are responsible. Why your councillor should be your representative? Someone, because you might not be able to have access to your chairman because it might be busy or but that's why you have a councillor. Your councillor should act as a bridge between you and your and the local government council. So when you have a good representation, you know the importance of the councillor, then you can look at this person, this the person we want. So I think we should start enlightening people first on the functions of a chairman, on the function of a councillor, because obviously people are not really conversant with these duties. And moreover, I've always said, and I'm going back to our professionals. Our professionals are not really coming out. We have this kind of voter empathy. People don't see any reason why they have to come to the, to vote during election. And it shouldn't be so. You have to exercise your civil duty, because if you are saying, I don't care about the grassroots, I don't care about anything, but if anything happens in your community, will you say you don't care about your vicinity? You don't care about if your dog got blocked? So we have to look at these things matter holistically, because going beyond the election, let's start to sanitize our people. Maybe through when we are in our unit meetings, let's tell them, going forward, we can make things happen. We can make a change. So let's start just by our doorstep. Let's start making that change. The local government, which is the third of the government, is very important to grassroots development. So that's just basically what I can say on that.
At this point, I really even think that we should change the notion that the local government is the third tier. Maybe we should start calling it the first. Looking that a lot of times people will say charity begins at home. People are born at home. So maybe if we start to switch it, people will start to see, the importance of the local government elections. And even talking about enlightenment. On Wednesday, we had a guest, come and talk to us about the roles, the responsibilities, and accountability of the local government situation in that sense. And that's one of the things that I think that people, as you have mentioned, enlightenment necessary. It's one of the things that we put out there for people to be enlightened about the roles and responsibilities of their local council, representatives. But still about that, many citizens still see these elections as mere formality. They'll just say that they have already selected the people that are running. And I think that beats your kind of passion for coming out to run for an election. Imagine that they already assume that the election is a formality from, the local government councils, where the major parties have already selected the people that they want, and then they're going to ensure that these people get in. So how do you think that we can change that perception about, citizens just seeing the elections as a formality?
Like I said, change belief begin with you and I. When we are saying that a sector organizing an election is be persistent like LASEC, I don't agree with that. You asked me why. Because I went through the process as a candidate for validation. I saw the process. The process it might be a little bit difficult, but it was thorough. At least for that, their documentation, I can say that they tried in that aspect. Okay. Going back, that's the first phase. Now going back to the second phase, which is the election. People have to be deliberate about what they are doing. Freedom don't come just easy. When you think somebody is persistent or doing something that is wrong, what have you done about it? Are you going to sit down in your house and not monitor your votes? And how true are these informations that a particular body organizing an election is persistent? How true are all this information? And if this information are true, so what have you done with it in the last 4 years to salvage these things? So we just leave all these things to fly. And then we are always looking for someone to blame. We blame the body. We blame when 2 years ago, 2 years to come now, we blame INEC. We're always blaming people. But what have we done on our own part? We say the journey is difficult. So if the journey is difficult, if the path to positivity is difficult, are you saying you are not going to trend through that path? So enough of the playing game. Me, I don't believe in playing. That's why I'm in the race. Let's see. This is like a litmus test for people like SEC themselves,
Absolutely.
for them to justify themselves, to let people know that they are doing a good job. And it's not for me to analyze them for now, but me, I believe there will be free and fair election tomorrow. So I want people to be rest assured that if they come out, they do the right thing, they vote for their right candidates, and they stay with their votes. Each polling unit, each and everyone know the number of the polling units, the number, the scores. So let's start doing that. Some people will say we have been doing it. Okay, fine. Are you not going to stop doing it? So when you are doing something, it's not coming to, you just stop. What you are doing, it might not be necessary for now. Let them know that it's not business as usual.
Absolutely.
But when you sit back, like they're saying on the street, in Yoruba language, they will say, "What you call?" In English, that means they have already written it. Like, but that's an illusion. Number one, if you are a voter, they have already told you that they have written. Number one, you are not coming out. They have already conquered you first because you are not even coming out to exercise your rights. That's an illusion. So the high time we come outside, the high time is start to see that we are the people that can change. Nobody is coming to change anything for us. That's just the truth. Nobody is coming from anywhere to change anything for us. We are just going to stand. And how can we do this? Not that, like I said before, you look aiming high. You are aiming high. What about you have not even started from you are aiming high. Not that, like I said before, you look aiming high. You are aiming high. What about you have not even started from